Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you for watching my channel. My name is Gretchen Brown, and really appreciate you subscribing and liking these videos. I just make a lot of videos about my life in general and just how things are going in general, and it's been a couple months since I made a video, so I thought I would just make another one. Also, I got new sunglasses, so they are, I think they're blue with some green, I think. I don't remember which. I know they're blue, but I don't know if they had to be green somewhere, I think. I'm not sure. But I got new ones, so they are helping a lot with the light. And yeah, so sometimes light just kind of gets brighter that shouldn't get brighter. Like the sun will get brighter than what it should be. So I got these sunglasses and they help a lot with that. So anyway, I apologize if I don't look in the camera. I'm totally blind, so I don't really do I can't really look in the camera. And welcome back to my dining room. So, I'm a very positive person, I'm a very open person, and I try to keep that real on my channel at least, because, on my social media in general, I'm more of a, hey, things are going great, life's great, awesome, but on this channel, this is my true space, where I can feel like I can tell whatever I want to. So, with that being said, I'm not going to be the most positive person on this video. So, as you all know, I've been looking for a job since, I graduated in December of 2020, so pretty much since then. And I'm an occupational therapy assistant, so, the field's pretty open. I can pretty much do whatever I want to do as far as, working. Different settings. I can do nursing homes, I can do schools, I could do orthopedic clinics, anything really. And my dream job is to work in a residential rehab setting. So not necessarily like a nursing home or anything like that, where they do a lot of orthopedic stuff like bones and muscles and things. I really want to work in a, young adult, recently disabled, where they teach you all the basic skills of life, pretty much, that's what I want to do. And honestly, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I think God is, really pushing me away from what I want to do with my life, and, I'm a Christian. I believe that God has, ideas of what He wants us to do in our lives, and eventually we're going to do them no matter what. He's going to push us towards that. We do have free will. We can kind of do whatever, but ultimately it's God's decision. So, I can't just be like, hey God, I want to do this, and God's going to be like, okay, cool, have fun, So I don't know. I'm a very positive person generally, but honestly, I'm getting tired of looking for a job. I've been looking for 2 years now, guys. It's like December. It's going to be December of 2022 soon. It's October 11th right now. And yeah, honestly, I'm really struggling mentally / emotionally with all of this. I haven't counted my applications in a long time, but I know I've applied to several jobs, like several hundred. And of the several hundred that I've gotten, applied for, only a couple of them have responded to interviews. And it's really hard. I'm a very open person. I'm very, honest about my blindness and what my challenges are with that, and how I use technology to overcome them, and how I do this and all my accommodations, and excuse me, sorry. It's just not working out at all. I got a job interview a couple weeks ago, and I was all excited because it's in my state where I live. And I was like, okay, cool, these people are really cool, they get it, they understand, and honestly it made me so happy because they were willing to listen to me, Like, when I told them I was blind, it wasn't like, oh no, you're blind, what do we do? It was just like, okay, what do we need to do to make it accessible? So they did their research, they looked it up, they called me and they kept me in the loop and they said, hey, sorry we haven't called you in like a week, we're looking up stuff, we're trying to figure out what's going to work for us if we hire you. So, that kind of gave me a really strong vibe of, hey, they actually want me, they see me as a person, I'm not just a blind person to them, I'm an actual potential employee, Um, so I get all excited and they tell me they want me to do a second interview with the team. And I was like, yes, this is great. Like, finally. And in the back of my mind, I'm going, okay, I'm not going to hope for anything because they might say no. That's understandable. Um, because literally most of the jobs that I've applied for have said no because you're blind, except they can't say that. And, some of them are saying no because, I'm not the best candidate for the job. I totally get that. But, uh, if you're in an interview and they go, oh no, you're blind, how do you do this? And they ask you really dumb questions, chances are you're not going to get the job because they don't believe you can even live on your own or, walk anywhere by yourself. So heaven forbid they hire you, I'm sorry, I'm going to get a drink real quick because my throat is just sore. All right, excuse me. So, goodness. All right, so I was waiting on this job to call me back. It's been a couple weeks since I had the second round interview, and at the end of the interview, they were like, "Hey, we want you to come and observe our um, our job." I don't want to say where it is, so I'm trying to be careful. We want you to come and observe our job and what you would do in this setting, and uh, they asked me different scenarios how I would handle them, and I answered honestly. I was like, "Look, I don't know, I don't have experience in that setting, but I want a chance. Just give me the chance to show you that I could do this." And at the end of the interview, they said, "Hey, we want you to come here, come explore, come see what we do. You can ask questions, you can observe. You can just figure out if it's for you." And I was like, "Yes, like finally they see me as a person." I was all excited and hyped up, and in the back of my mind, there was still that voice going, "Stop, like chill. They're gonna probably say no, just stop," Uh, but that voice was drowned out because my brain was going, yes, like, woo, because they they were so different from every other job except for like three. They were willing to talk to me about my blindness. They weren't like freaked out about it. They basically told me, look, we don't know anything about this. What do we need to do? How do we make this accessible? And that's what I've been looking for a long time. So, a week goes by and I email them and I'm like, hey, do you have any dates of when I should come there to see your place of, your job, workplace, that's the word. When should I come see your workplace? Do you have specific dates in mind? Like, I am pumped up, ready to go. Like, I can't wait to explore and, which is, I'm being honest. I'm not being like, that over enthusiastic employee. I'm not just like doing it just because like I'm sincerely like, woo, like let's go, man, like let's go see this place. I'm very excited and hopeful. Like I was even looking up like apartments in the place, and I was like looking at the bus routes. I called the transportation people in this area, and I was like, hey, what do you have? Do you have any apartments close to the bus lines? Like, what should I do? How do I get to this place? I had it all planned out in my head. Because that's how I do. When I apply for a job, I look for all those things before I apply, because I want to make sure that it's a town or city where I'm going to be accessible. Excuse me, where I'm going to have accessible options for getting around and doing life. Because I'm not going to have friends in these areas where I might move to. Like I don't know a lot of people. I'm not very good at asking people for help. Like, hey, I need a ride to the store. You want to take me? So. Yeah. Anyway, so then they called me today, and I thought it was weird they weren't responding to my emails, but I didn't want to call them because I was like, okay, you know, some places don't like being called because they're a larger facility, you know, I'll just email them. I was literally about to email them and they called me, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm excited, but I'm not going to show it, you know. So I was like, hey, and they were like, hey, so how are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm great. How are you? You know, and uh, they said, well, listen, like, we talked about it with, uh, you know, my team. There was a bunch of us who got together. We talked about it. It was a very, very long discussion, and we decided that we weren't going to go, you know, with you as a candidate for the future. Um, you know, you don't have experience in this field, which I totally get it. That's fine. Uh, and you know, we just want someone else, and um, you know, but if you get more experience and you come back to us in the future, you know, you can definitely apply, you know, again, and I would definitely keep us in mind, you know. And I said, oh, trust me, I will, because I said, you guys have been honest with me. You have not been like freaked out because I'm blind. You know, you've given me a fair chance. You know, so you know, I'm gonna definitely keep you all in mind. And I meant that. You know, I'm not lying, because I treasure those interviews where people actually treat me like a person. It means a lot more to me than the 500 other interviews that I've gotten slash not gotten, where they go, oh no, you're blind. Oh shoot. You know. Uh, Sorry, I thought Beacon was gonna come in here. So yeah, it's been a long day. It's only like 11 o'clock, and I'm just like emotionally like so confused. Like, I want to cry because I'm not really not angry at them, because they're not. They gave me a fair chance. It's totally fair, and that's almost like shocking because I don't know what to do. Like, they actually treated me like a person, you know. So that was kind of like, I feel like it was equal, you know. I mean, yes, I was told no, but they weren't like, oh, well, we want you to work here, but you're blind. You know, it wasn't like that. It was just like, hey, look, we found other people. You know, and I can accept that. I can totally accept that because it's fair. You know, it's just frustrating because I'm like, please. Um, so, you know, I don't really cry a lot, but I did. I had a good cry after that one. It was just really hard, you know, because like I said, I've been looking for 2 years, and they've all told me no. And you know, fair or not fair, like, it's still frustrating, you know. And I know there's people out there who don't have a disability who are being told no too, and that's not what I'm upset about. That being told no, no. I'm upset more the fact that um, of the jobs that I could have had a fair chance at, the majority of them said no because I was blind, and it's just like their perception of me as a blind person, like, it's wrong, and I don't have any way of fixing that because, you know, I can't be like, look, I can do this and this. Like, I can't change their minds, and I can't change their understanding of what blindness is and how it affects me slash the world as a whole. You know, so I just, yeah, I mean, I am really disappointed in the OT world as a whole right now. um, just because, like, you know, that's our job in life, is to, well, you know, in our career, is to be diverse and understanding of disability and be welcoming of it and problem solve and figure out challenges. And I just feel like, I mean, I haven't seen that in a lot of my jobs. I've only seen it in this one that I applied for most recently, and when I went to my summer job this past year, which that was not an OT job. Um, but like, you know, I don't know. I'm a very positive person normally, but honestly, guys, like, I'm getting to the point where I totally understand why people don't look for jobs anymore. I can try and try and try, and I'll still never change people's minds about me. You know, I can keep looking, and I could look for 30 years and not find a job, and then by then it'll be like, oh, we don't want you, you're 50, you know? Um, and you know, normally I'm a very upbeat person and try to give advice to people about like life and how it'll work out and things just kind of manage to fall into place. But honestly, right now it's like, will it? You know? Uh, I mean, I try to have a very strong internal motivation. Um, you know, I tell myself, you're fine, you're capable of doing things. You don't have to prove yourself to the world. Um, you know, you'll find the person that will actually see you as a person and they won't see you as a blind person first. Um, and, you know, yeah, that's not working uh, at all. And I just, you know, when I was younger, I always thought I would never be one of the people that would give up on job searching or, um, you know, life in general, because I've seen a lot of my friends who are blind and they just get defeated by the world and they just stop. They don't bother to fight anymore for a job or to be treated like an equal person. Uh, and you know, that was my motivation a lot, was just, I'm not going to be like that. I want to be the person that overcomes that and that fights until I can't. Um, you know, to be, uh, you know, successful, and to me, successful would be having a job um, that I enjoy, that I want to do. Um, you know, because I feel like society pushes everybody with disabilities into a certain job. Like, uh, you know, a lot of my blind friends, they work in factories and they have more capabilities. They can do other things, but they're like, oh, well, this is a job, so it's fine. And I get so angry at them. Like, I don't tell them that, obviously, because that would be rude, but in my head, I'm like, come on, man, like, you can do so much more. Like, you've got this, you know, you can become more than just working at a factory, which nothing is working at a factory at all. It's just, they've been told so many times that they don't really matter to society, and they've been shown that through jobs and life in general, um, that they just say, okay, cool, I'll work at this factory job, and that's what I'll do for the next several years. And you know, I'm totally not disrespecting people that work in factories. That's totally fine if that's what you want to do. But you shouldn't have to feel like you're forced into doing that because you have no other option. Um, you know, I don't think that people should be forced to have to feel like they have to do something because that's the only option they have in life. Um, you know, and I don't know. You know, I've worked really hard for my degree, and I've been told I need to get more degrees because the one degree that I have is not going to make me a overqualified person to fill positions. Um, you know, I need more experience, which, again, how can I get that experience if I can't get hired or even get internships at places? Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm at a loss right now, and I try to be that person that is real with you all about life as a blind person. Um, and yeah, like, I'm not doing great right now. Um, I I just, I don't know. Honestly, you know, my biggest fear is to end up like the people that just give up in life. And I can see myself doing that. And that's what scares me a lot, because I don't want to be that person. You know, I want to be that person that's like, okay, cool, like we've got this, we're going to keep doing this. But I don't know how much longer I can. You know, because like mentally slash emotionally, I don't know. I'm just tired of dealing with it all, honestly. I get it. You know, I totally understand. And why people just stop. It makes sense. I understand why people, you know, why it's tiring. Like like the other day I went to this restaurant, it was a Chinese restaurant. And the waitress, excuse me, not waitress, waiter was like, hi, welcome to insert restaurant name. I prefer you sit over there in the corner. And in my head, I knew why he had said that, but I didn't really, it was like, it's not worth the battle, you know. So I went to the corner and I sat down, and the people at my table were just like, acting like everything was normal. And I really wanted to cry, because I was like, no, like, that's not fair, they can't do that. And everyone's like, oh, just educate him. No, I don't want to. I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy dinner, at least, without having to argue with someone that I'm equal. So we sit in the corner, and honestly, at this point, I'm just done, because this past couple weeks, there's been a lot going on. Like, Beacon got attacked by a loose dog, and no one did anything about it. And they basically told me that because I was blind, I couldn't prove anything happened, which really annoyed me. Anyway, that's like total discrimination, but I was just tired of it all. I can't keep fighting it. So anyway, we're at the restaurant, and I'm upset, but I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna enjoy my food, it's fine, I don't care. That's what I keep telling myself, I don't care. Because if I care, then it hurts. So, you know, not caring is better. So I'm like, okay, it's fine, I don't care, whatever. Well, but then the next person comes in, and the guy goes, hi, welcome to insert restaurant name. You can sit wherever you'd like. And I'm like, seriously? Like, no, that's not okay. Like, just because I'm blind doesn't mean I have to sit in the corner, you know? So then I'm the person that likes to prove to them that I'm equal without actually confronting them, because whenever I confront people, I start shaking, and then it's like, I get really nervous, and it's a whole thing. So I go up to the buffet, because it's a buffet line, and I bring Beacon up with me. And you know, I don't know if you know this, if you're watching this and you're not blind, but the buffet lines at restaurants are like dog level, so they're a little bit lower to the ground. So like, if Beacon were to stick her head up, she could eat the stuff right out of the, I guess they put them in bowls or whatever they have them in. She could get her head in there and just chomp away on chicken or noodles or whatever she wanted. So I made a big show of it. Like, I took her right next to the food, and of course, you know, I don't tease her with it, obviously. But I was like, look, like, she's well trained. And I heard people in the back going, oh my gosh, there's a dog in the buffet line. And I was like, so loudly, I was like, oh my gosh, look, the people are freaking out because there's a guide dog in the buffet line. Oh no. But she's a real service dog, because look, she's not eating the food off the buffet. And, you know, like, I was just like really annoyed that they would say that, because I've grown up in this town. I lived here my whole life. And this restaurant to be treated like, we don't want you here because you have a dog. Like, no, that's not fine. That's not okay. So yeah, so I don't know, guys. Like, I'm just tired, and I just want to, I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore, because, you know, I've been arguing with people to be treated like a normal person. I've yelled at people, I've told them politely, I've showed them through, you know, physically showing them what I can do and how I can do things. I've worked harder than everyone else to prove myself to be at the top of everything, like academic wise. You know, I had to prove myself more to people because they don't see me as an equal. And honestly, like, I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this because I'm, yeah, I mean, it's a lot. And I'm being real right now because I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I have tried everything I've told myself. I've tried everything I've told everybody else because I've mentored some people, you know, through college, and you know, I try to be like, oh yeah, you'll find that job eventually. It'll happen. But I'm starting to wonder if it will. And I know it's not a great place to be, um, mentally slash emotionally slash whatever else. Uh, but I don't know how to stop from going to that place in my mind of being like, okay, I'm not going to be good enough for the people to see me as an equal. You know, even people in the blindness field, like some of my people that are blind, they're like, oh, you need to get another degree so that way they can see you as competent in this and this and this. No, no, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to feel pressured to get another degree to, I mean, I have a degree. My degree is good enough. Other people in my class that were in my OTA program are getting hired or are already working for a year and a half to 2 years to 3 years, depending on, you know, where they work at and stuff. Um, my degree's good enough. I don't need to get another degree just to prove to everyone else that I'm capable, because honestly, if they don't agree that my degree that I have currently is fine, what's going to make them believe that another degree that I have is fine? Like, I could get a doctorate in, I don't know, whatever, occupational therapy, or I could get a law degree and become a lawyer, and there's still people out there who are going to be like, you're blind, so we're good, you know? And you know, I'm a very positive person. I try to be like, oh yeah, it'll work out. Um, but honestly, in the back of my mind, I'm questioning everything. I'm just like, really, like, is all the things that I've thought that are true about the world, about people, that there are people out there who are like, yeah, you've got this, it's fine. You know, we want to hire you. You're equal, and we see you as a person. Like, I wonder, you know. Um, so there is one other job I'm gonna apply for before I don't want to say I'm gonna stop looking, but I'm really close. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I I don't want to admit that I have failed with this job search, but yeah, I have failed obviously because I don't have a job and it's been 2 years. So I'm giving it till December because you know it's October right now, so I got like a month and a half, maybe 6 weeks, and then I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll look into going to school. Maybe I just won't. Maybe I'll just stop in general. Like I'm not the type of person that just stops, but honestly, I'm getting there. Um, like I'm like, why bother? Like, why bother looking if no one's gonna look for me and no one's gonna see me as a person? So, you know. Um. Anyway, so I'm gonna give it till December, and I'm gonna look for more jobs. You know, I'm gonna find. I'm looking. I'm lowering my standards of what I'm looking for. I really want to be an OTA. That's my degree. That's what I have spent a lot of money on. That's what I worked my butt off for. But I'm also going to look at being a teaching assistant, like a teacher's aide, uh, at various blind schools because I want to teach students, children, teenagers, young adults about life with a disability, and I like teaching, and I like showing different different access technologies and different tools, and I like showing them hey, you might do this different than your 4,000 other friends and your 300 neighbors on your block slash town, but you're still successful, you're still competent, you're still able to succeed in the world. Like, if you flip an egg differently than the person next to you that can see, if you're still doing the thing, if you're still flipping the egg and you're frying it successfully and it's not raw and you're eating it and it's fine, it's fine. I mean, that's all that matters. It's different way, but it's equal. It's still perfectly acceptable. That's what I want to teach. That's what I want to teach these people that are coming up in the next generation of adults, because our world is very, very discriminatory. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, discrimination's not there anymore, it's gone. Yeah, okay, cool. Then why don't you come in my shoes for a couple weeks, and then we can see what you say. And I'm not saying the world as a whole is awful, because it's totally not. I mean, there are people out there that are great, but unfortunately, I have not met any who want to give me a job. So they had to be out there somewhere. I'm hoping that's the one thing that's keeping me from giving up, is hope. Because if I don't have that, then I might as well just give up, But like I said, I'm gonna give it to December, and I've been praying about it. I'm like, okay, God, you taking everything else, job-wise that I can do. I'm done. So tell me what you want me to do, because I don't know anymore. And that's hard for me. I'm a very controlled person. I like to have everything in a routine. I like to have everything under control, and not having a plan for my future, that just really stresses me out, a lot, because I'm a very I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna get a job, and then I'm gonna do this, 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 and this. I'm gonna get a family, and I'm gonna be successful, and that's not happening. So yeah. Anyway, sorry this is so long. I just wanted to update you all on my life, and if you're the praying type, because I know there are people out there that don't pray, don't believe in God, which is totally fine. It's up to you. It's your life. But if you are a praying type, I don't normally ask for prayers, but could you do that for me? Because I would really appreciate it. Because yeah, I don't know. I've got one job in the back of my mind that I'm gonna apply for, because I could see myself being successful at this job in this place that I'm thinking of. But I'm not holding up hope for it, because they might say no, So anyway, sorry this isn't the normal upbeat, positive videos that you get on my channel. But I'm being real, and I'm being honest. And yeah, so I've got hope for a little bit. But I don't know how much longer that hope will last, because going on December 11th, 12th, whatever day, it'll be 2 years. So that's a long time. And I know people are like, oh, that's not a long time in a lifetime. Well, it is right now, because I'm 23 and I still don't have a job, and I'm volunteering, that's it. I'm not doing anything society's not being changed by me, So yeah, anyway, thank you all for watching. I will update you all in a couple weeks / maybe a month about how that's going, the whole job search thing. And please pray for me, because I could really appreciate it. I could really use some prayers, and I've got a lot going on, other things that I don't want to speak about on this channel yet. That's been taking a toll on me mentally, and spiritually as well. I've got some battles going on with that, so it's just difficult, and I wish that the world could be more accessible, but it's not, so I have to deal with it, and I have to continue to hope and keep myself motivated, because the world's sure not going to help me motivate myself. um, so yeah, so thank y'all for watching again, I appreciate it. I'm sorry again, this isn't the videos that you're hoping for, but I want to be honest, I want to be real, and that's what this channel is for me, is my open place to be real. So anyway, have a good day if y'all are watching this, and I will see you in like a month perhaps, to talk about my job search.